quick review on our round 16 NRL Supercoach team and a quick look ahead at round 17. Now, with trades running low for my side now into the 13 mark, I'm likely personally going to be holding trades. Situation, I did gain 903 ranks into 8,152, so 2 good weeks in a row. Pretty sad that we couldn't make too many more ranks with a 1364. And Jaden Campbell, actually my only real low score. And my trade-in of Hughes was my second lowest at 45. So I was pretty happy generally with the Supercoach squad. Holding on to Payne Haas for his 108 there was really good. And I'll show you where things ended up here. So let's just click the private head-to-head group there. We had Starling. I had to play Dewey in the end. So 68 from him in that awesome second half was great. Farnworth 106 was awesome. Sticking strong with Colin Matungi. Munster was solid. Brought in Duncan in the end for Zach Docker-Clay, which allowed me to go Ola Kawatu to Jerome Hughes as well. So yeah, the 45 from Jerome was a little bit annoying, but yeah, so be it. Pappenhausen 62 and Katoa's 53. So that game was actually pretty low for myself with 40s, 50s, and 60s. Probably my worst game of the week. Hines is 90, Haas is 108, Ramian 62 was solid. Drinky 73 and Teddy is capped at 107. So that was good with playing Horsburgh and then May. Ended up managing to leave Tino on the bench, given he was going to likely be off the bench. He's got a bit of a sternum issue. He just lost lots of thousands of dollars there. 75 he went down into 624, but post Origin he's going to be a buy. So let's just hold on and not worry about that type of sell there. I think is the way to play it. In terms of leagues I'm in, the private crew, I'm sitting in 24th, and we've got Scoop up there in 155th. He didn't move a spot. Pretty crazy with that one. We have Dave at 481 and Jaden at 279. So they're the three gunning for that win there for the private crew. Podmasters were sitting 41st out of 104, with Matthew heading into 43rd, Luke in at 51, Scoop at 155, Chris, Maxi in there at 310 and 410. So all the guys doing a great job in that top 500, which is great. My big head-to-head was the All-Stars one, so moved up to the second now in that, which is great. And I think overall I'm going to be gunning for a win in this competition, a very strong group of teams there. I managed to get on a bit of a run. I think 5 out of my last 6 I've got a win there. So I'm going to keep pushing forward for that one there to get in that top 2, top 4, and hopefully win that. So with my overall ambitions of making sort of the top 500 or trying to win it out the door, we're going to move into pushing towards that. So in this scenario here, in my team, I do have just a couple out. Sandon Smith, apparently he's been cleared of major injuries, so that's good. But Sandon Smith and Teddy out for me this week. I don't have Fletcher Sharp as the sell there. I don't have guys like Wong who are out for 4 to 6 weeks. I do have Campbell. 564k now is wild, and he's going to be even cheaper after that with a break even of 100 most likely. So yeah, he's just going to sit on my bench there. I do have a few guys returning in Karaz and Garrick. Got Hughes there with Hines is fine. Aitken likely to move to the back row. Tino likely to go back and start, so he pushes back into the team. At the moment, Horsburgh would be my next best, and then Adam Dewey in there as well. So with those couple of guys out, I return 3 or 4 guys to the squad, and we look pretty healthy coming into this week. And there are a few guys you're going to want to target over the next few, and Jerome at that price point of 612 is still a play you do want to target at halfback, and we will start there for the buy, hold, sell. How'd you guys go as well? Let us know in the comments this week if you ended up beating my score of 1364 and made some ranks, or if you lost a few and you're looking to make some moves this week, or you have to sell Fletcher. And I imagine Karaz, I got him before the buy, so he'll be a pretty important target for a lot of people there. Shout out to Nico, 1059 now. He's got to the highest points in the half position, so some good longevity there. But guys that you want to target over the next few, Katoa, the 58, he's kind of a solid guy to have. Adam Reynolds, he plays around 18 and 19, so you can have a look at him there. Metcalf, still a clear hold, looks like a quad cork for him. Cleary, if you hold all this way through, happy days on that one. But you can see there, it's just in this first section, it's Hughes, the guy that you do want to be targeting, and outside of that, it's looking pretty average and pretty bare in this half position. Guys like Fogarty a bit cold at the moment. Crazy that like Reynolds would be next on the list, along with someone like DCE. If you want to go a bit cheaper, with the chance to have a pretty good little run here, then DCE will be that play at $4.59. If you didn't want to go for Hughes for that 150k cheaper, then you can go down to Daly in that one. Now, if Campbell is your main 5/8, then maybe you could muck around and try and do something in this 5/8 position. But when you look down that list again, just looking on averages there, Dearden had his time in the sun. That's kind of fallen away now with the team being very poor. The worries here with Burton, if you were to buy him, is being 18th man again. Galvin at 477. I think we need to see if he's actually named at 5/8, and if he is, or at halfback. If he is, I think he's someone that you can have a look at that price point as well at 5/8. But again, looking down the line, there's not a lot of options in this section. And again, this could be a week for you where you don't have to do much trading. Whereas in the centre wing, we've still got Farnworth as the clear top guy in the position right now, averaging 84.5, but you've got Carraz there averaging 83.9. So Carraz will be the priority right now, given he doesn't have a bye for a long time. Now, the only problem would be if there's an injury and he ends up getting pushed into that Origin side. Otherwise, Farnworth missing 2 out of the next 5 is going to be 2 out of the next 4 even. 5, yeah, is a little bit tough. So Carraz first and Farnworth. It'll be interesting to see where Garrick ends up getting named, if it is on the wing or not. Hopefully he can still score well, even if he does move there. We've all got Lucas, and you've got some type of cheap variety there. So let's look at centre wing. We had players like Beau Fermor end up in a decent spot on the weekend. So quick look at round 16 points. You might have Bostock that had the ACL injury, who unfortunately will need to be sold. Nwangi Tuaze with a 136, very impressive there. And Johnson, the 4-try, 137, crazy. Bradman Best comes back into the picture there, but with missing round 18 and round 22, you can definitely wait on him. Some of these scores were fun, but to less relevant guys in this, out of these round 16 scores. But when you're looking at the top averages, the odd guy that you could look at now could be like a Valentine Holmes, given he likely just misses the one more clash. He'll be good for this one. But I think the worry with him is more the team. I think they're starting to play a little bit, not as good as they were throughout the beginning of the season. Zach Lomax is a guy there as well. Has gone down 40k this week. Did pick up an 81 in the end, which is good. He is under 700k and should only miss that one more game in Origin, which is good news for him. And is a guy that I think we're going to be wanting longer term. Him and Val, like a collection of one of those two to go with Carraz, to go with Farnworth. You might not be able to, and Lucas, you might not be able to get too many more guys, but they're the players you want to be looking at. Both Fermor, you'll expect some consistency out of him, which is good, but less upside overall, apart from that one massive game, than the guys I'm just speaking about in Val, Carraz, Farnworth, all those types of guys there. Cheaper players, you can still look at guys like Ramian. They have still a fairly tough matchup this week, but they can definitely do a job for you. And you see other guys come in and out. But in terms of actual cheapies, it's probably not the week to go and chase one of those guys. Whereas I think like around 18 or 19 could be an easy week to go for a non-playing guy. Or if someone is available in that round 18 as a bit of coverage for one of the teams that are playing in that week, then that could do a job for you as well. Yeah, Paul Bostock thankfully went up the 85k, and you'll have to sell now with his injury news. You can see there, if you're looking down at this 50 average and the lower price point, then guys like Raymond, who still just cannot score tries, similar to that with Dewey, just very, very tough to score tries, is the way to play it. Penasini's at 365, so he could be a cheap guy that is playing that could do a job for you. And then Jack Howarth at 366, who will play 18, 19, and could hopefully can hopefully get some good scores under his belt. Now the fullback slot, we have Teddy out this week, but it's not a position I think you want to muck around with too much. You do have Walsh and you do have Turbo as a couple of guys that you could target, but still the top 3 guys, even with some lower scores this week, are Teddy, Pat, and Drinkwater. As bad as Drinkwater's team has been, he's still averaging 70 over the last 3, including that 100 a couple of weeks ago. So he's someone to still have a look at a reasonable price of 682. If you have Campbell down here or in the flex or something like that, you could muck around with some players like a Reece Walsh, like a Lehigh Hopewade, who I did sell after he had the concussion. He'll go back to fullback, and against the Tigers this week is a really fun pick at 663 if you have someone that you need to straight swap to a player like him. So I did miss him in the centre wing, but he's awesome in that position or in the fullback slot there. So keep an eye out on him, which would be good. Connor Tracy's dropped down to 505, so maybe it's a timing thing there. Turbo at 485. Centres, though, is that going to be exciting for you? And then Latrell, do you just prepare, wait for him to be a bit of a point of difference guy post-Origin? All right. Let's sneak up to hooker there. Similar situation that it has been. If you've got McInnes, you're holding steady. Harry Grant could be a potential target as an upgrade. I may look at it from Starling in round 19, but we'll see where we get to with this position. Damien Cook at 539 is back after the bye, and he's good for the next section of games, so he's someone to have a little look at as well. And Chris Randall, the back-to-back try-scoring weeks for him. And Joey Lussick back in action. Now, if Riley Smith does stay on the bench or if he gets suspended here, he might be someone you do have to muck around with selling. But if you have him partnered with a Starling, then you won't have to worry with that. For the front row forward position, you still have the top guys there. Tarpanay came out with a try on the weekend, did a good job. Tino, now that he's 624, is just an easy hold. Hopefully he's all good. Aaron Clark just continues to score well, 77.7 average for him in the last 3 games. And yes, misses round 18, but should continue to get 50 to 65 minutes and score well, which is just incredible. An interesting player if he goes back into the middle, and hopefully he does, is Couchman at 541, but a bit more meat and potatoes type of player, which do we want at this stage? I've already got Corey Horsburgh, myself, Ewan Aiken, these types of players. Do you need another guy like that? Or, Fermor, these types of guys, although Bowie's a goal kicker now. They can just do a job for you, or you're trying to push and have guys that have upside. We'll have a look at the second row forward in a second, but guys like Britton Nigra at a decent price there. Like if you're looking around at that guy, those guys that you might want, he's gone up another 75 and is 600k, but they're the players you need to look at that have definite upside, which not a lot of players do in this league, right? We'll eventually be looking at Crichton. You've got Jacob Preston under 700k if you want or have interest in him. He should be able to score well. Kikau's been awesome, averaging 73 as well. And Hudson Young, hopefully, is a little bit cheaper come round 20, when I think he is a decent pick there as well. And now Eli Katoa at 642, an absolute steal deal for him, and is someone that you should have a look at. Carbius Paul, I think, worthy of another hold. Like, he had the tough round there, but before that was doing great. Crichton 76 on the weekend. He's 584k. So by the time he comes around again in round 19, if you can get someone like him under 600k, it's pretty wild. So that's where to look at that one there. And once team lists come out, we'll see different guys that are named and different things, situations you can look at if you do need cheapies and stuff like that. But it's probably not the week for that type of player. So hopefully my 17, 18 this week can do a good job, and I think that they can. And hopefully we can make some more ranks and continue having a little bit of luck that we've seen the last 2 weeks that we didn't have for the couple of months before. Hopefully you got a bit of luck this week as well. And hopefully things work out for your side. And my Cowboys suck. Hopefully the team that you follow are doing a better job than where they're at. But that Titans North Queensland clash there without Campbell and with all the Cotters and Robson's back, that's going to be a much more fun and close clash. And I think Drinky can be a fun one, captaincy wise and vice captaincy. Drinky could be a play in that last game against the Titans. We still have guys like Farnworth and Carraz that could be vice captains. Payne Haas, if he's all fit to go, who knows? Apparently it doesn't matter for him. Can be a captain as well there. The rest of the guys I'm not too excited about unless you have a Cleary. That could be fun there. So we'll leave that one there, guys. It's the Supercoach for round 16 and 17 combined. The review and also the best buys. Good luck this week, and we'll see you in the next one.